Imagine you walk into the IELTS speaking exam. Part 1 goes swimmingly. Then the examiner hands you a cue card and says, describe a place that you have visited that left a strong impression on you. You look at the cue card. You feel confident and start speaking. And then after 30 seconds, you start saying nonsense. Your mind goes blank. Most students think it's a vocabulary, grammar, or pronunciation problem. But this is not the case. It's a direction problem. The map I want to give you right now is called the Part 2 Mind Map, which will help you to solve this very problem. Direction 1. Talk about the senses. What did you feel, hear, see, or touch while you were there? Most students in Part 2 only talk about how something looked. But if you can talk about the senses, it will truly make your answer come alive. I vividly remember the smells coming from the glorious street food along the streets of the magnificent city. The road under my feet felt very uneven and cobbled. I was blown away by the constant hum of the vibrant crowds around that wonderful location. See how it transports you? Senses make an answer feel real to the examiner. Direction 2, emotion. How did the place make you feel in that moment? And I don't just mean, I felt happy. Talk with emotion about how that moment truly felt. Here we go. Standing there, I felt this overwhelming sense of calm and tranquility. I felt as though everything around me was talking to me in a really special way, and I was finally at peace with my inner self. It was a moment I will never forget. Do you see? I'm showing emotion in my answers, something you can't put a price on. Direction 3, talk about the people. Who was with you? Was it a family member, a stranger, somebody that blew you away with their uniqueness and wonderful personality? Talking about people adds story and depth to your answers. Let's look at an example. I went there with my stunning university roommate. Normally she's quite loud and obnoxious, but in this moment she was silent. This was due to the fact that when we walked into this stunning city, we knew something was special about it. I love that. Talking about people makes your answer stand out and adds a story element. Direction 4, talk about time. When did you travel there? Was it a special occasion? How long did you stay there for? And did anything change while you were there? Adding time in your answer adds structure and flow. We arrived early in the morning to avoid the overwhelming crowds. At this time, it felt like we had the place to ourselves. The sunlight was just rising against the walls of the stunning city. By lunchtime, the place was overrun with tourists, and it felt too overcrowded. I'm just pleased that I managed to grab those special few hours early in the morning. Branch 5, and this one is one that examiners love. Add comparison. Was it similar or different to somewhere that you traveled before in the past? Was it different from what you expected from looking online on the website? This is really special and unique if you could add this, because it shows that you have a higher level of thinking. To be honest, prior to traveling, I'd seen hundreds of photos of this amazing place online. But when I arrived, nothing could have prepared me for how large and thriving the city was. I was blown away by all of the motorbikes and the uniqueness of it. I simply wasn't expecting it, and it's unlike anywhere I'd ever been before. It felt amazing. So in that example, I'm comparing online previously to what I've experienced when I went there. That's so cool, and I promise you, not many people do this in their exam. So there you have it, the 5 directions. Senses, emotion, time, comparison, and people. To be honest, you don't need to use all 5 in your answer. 2 minutes is simply not long enough. However, if you can include 2 or 3, it will really make you stand out from the crowd. So now, let's put all of this together into a sample answer for you. Remember the question. Describe a time you visited a special place that left a strong impression on you. There are many locations I could talk about. However, if I had to pick one, it would be the ancient town of Hoi An. I visited there about 2 years ago to celebrate a special occasion with my wonderful friend, and honestly, it left an incredibly deep impression on me. It was unlike anywhere I had traveled before. When we arrived, it was early in the morning, and the river was lit up with hundreds of beautifully colored lanterns, all lining the riverside. It truly was an unforgettable moment to experience. The smell of grilled meat and incense was everywhere in the air. You could hear the faint humming of a guitarist playing by the riverside. The streets were narrow and paved with stone. I can still remember the feeling under my feet as I traversed around the narrow streets. I felt this immediate sense of peace, which surprised me because I expected to be overwhelmed with tourists there. Instead, it felt almost like stepping back in time and visiting a place from 200 years ago. It really was a remarkable experience. To be honest, my friend and I barely spoke for the first hour. We were just overwhelmed with the natural beauty of the place, which, to be honest, is unlike us. After an hour, though, we returned to our gossipy nature. We only stayed there for 2 days, but one thing that struck me was the difference in time. In the mornings, the streets were overtaken by fishermen and local businessmen hustling for business. Then, in the evenings, it became a tourist trap, overwhelmed with large crowds and a significant amount of people from all over the world. I have visited many ancient towns in my life, but Hoi An felt different. It didn't feel preserved like other places, like a museum. No, this place was alive and had a hustle that was actually lived in. That's what made it remarkable. That is why Hoi An left a strong impression on me. It's unique in the fact that during the day, it's a normal, crowded, busy city, but at night, it becomes a tourist's paradise. In the future, I will try my best to travel back to Hoi An. Did you notice what just happened? I used all 5 directions of our mind map to create one impressive story. It didn't feel like a checklist. It felt like a fluent, coherent, and wonderful part 2 answer. Now, I'm not expecting you to use all 5 directions like that in your speaking exam, but if you can use 2 or 3, it will surely make you stand out. So, here's your challenge. If you got this question in your exam, which of the 5 directions would you choose to talk about? Pick 2 or 3 and let me know down below. I promise I'll give you some feedback. As always, guys, please hit subscribe and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.